Gavin Newsom, we have a serious water shortage, and one way to help combat that would be to get mandatory foot pedals connected to something that stops the flow of the sink and the shower when you're not using the water. We waste many, many gallons as we're soaping dishes and soaping our bodies when we don't need that water flow. Having some kind of device that shut off the water at the press of your foot would help save water. And believe me, water is one of the major issues, if not the major issue on this planet, since the internal combustion engine vanishes water into dust, right? If you took all the water out of petroleum gasoline, cars would sit in smoke. They wouldn't go anywhere. It's part of the illusion, part of the game that the rich have given us to play as we kill this planet right in front of our eyes, because that's what they want. Anyways, Gavin, my name is Dan Quinn. I will become the most famous person on the planet when Stevia splitting water into a natural gas that can power engines is validated, proving that I am Maitreya. I have Maitreya tatted right here. Yeah, I had a vision 33 years ago at Notre Dame telling me I was going to be the richest man on the planet, maybe 35 years ago. I was going to be the richest man on the planet, and with that money, what I was to do is end slavery, okay? How about Stevia splitting water into a natural gas whose exhaust can be turned into the fountain of youth, what acts like it, the closest we'll ever get to it, by removing all of the floating toxic soap at the end of the blend. What you should do, Gavin, is have one of your minions, I shouldn't use that term, one of your subordinates blend Stevia in water, see it pop, triple in size, vanish into a white soup, turn the blender off, you'll see a huge layer of soap floating at the end of the blend. Get all that soap out of water, and it acts like the fountain of youth. It cures terminally ill write-off cancer cats, 17 years old, sneezing blood bubbles at the vet, about to be put to sleep, brings them back into perfect health for an additional 2 years until 19, when that toxic soap was reintroduced into Peachy's body, and she was dead within 30 days from congestive heart failure, proving that white soap that floats to the end of the blend is toxic. Warning, danger, caution, will kill you, just like it says in the back of all of the things the rich sell us to use, okay? We're living a fucked up reality, Gavin. Things shouldn't be like this, and it's gonna take a billionaire with cojones to change it. That's me. I can make the fountain of youth, blend stevia in water, remove the soap, what's left over I call pure H2O, and pure H2O will one day become the most sought after and profitable drink on the planet, making me a billionaire many times over. And with that money, what I'm going to do is replace all the companies on Earth that act like pyramid companies. Is that a pyramid? Okay. That have everybody toiling at the bottom and paying 95% of the profit up to the rich that don't deserve it. Okay? How about new companies that pay 95% of profit down to the workers that help make the money in the first place? Spread the wealth. How much does one person need? Okay? How many billions does having $40 billion make Elon Musk's or Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg's penises any bigger? Okay? You know, Bill Gates donating $50 billion to the United Nations when he could have donated $50 billion back to America by starting projects that need to get done, okay? He could have written that off on his fucking taxes, and you know, he's part of the system, okay? He went to Harvard, which is the seat, the Ivy League, the seat of evil, where all the power brokers go, okay? The guys with all the money, they don't give a fuck about those below. They only care about how big their bank accounts are and how much they have in this race to have more. I say, how much is enough? Anyway, Gavin Newsom, I voted for you. I think you would be a good president. I'm starting to wonder about Joe Biden and his age, but the alternative is unthinkable. Electing a rapist, Donald Trump, to office again, inconceivable, okay? The rest of the world is laughing and watching. And I hope we're up to the task to replace him. Anyhow, Gavin Newsom, the water shortage. We waste millions of gallons a day across the state by letting the shower run when we're soaping, okay? You only need to get wet and to rinse, okay? But it's too much trouble to turn it off and on. How about a foot pedal with a lever that shuts off the water flow and saves millions of gallons of water each day? How about outlawing the internal combustion engine because it vaporizes hydrogen into smoke? Okay, it's gone forever. Invalidating Einstein's theory that nothing ever vanishes, okay? He had a 167 IQ. I tested out at 154 when I was 8 to 12 years old. I wrote a paper on mice expansion, mice overpopulation, how it didn't matter how much food and water, it was enough space, okay? If mice didn't have enough space, they went absolutely batshit crazy and turned into humans. And I told Mormon Deacon Craig Tusher when we were seniors in high school about that experiment I had when I was 8 years old, and told him if he ever took it to Princeton and he became a big-time millionaire, that he would pay me $5 million, and we shook hands on it. Anyhow, Princeton spent millions of dollars validating what I saw when I was 8 to 12 or 8 years old. Yeah. There's too many humans. What we have to do is start incentives for women to curb births at one. Become China, okay? One birth. But if they get their tubes cut, give them a house so they don't have to pay rent, okay? It'll curb the population. We have too many people. 13 colonies expanding to 280 million people in just over 200 years. It's inconceivable the mayhem mass reproduction is going to cause on our population if we don't deal with it. Anyway, Gavin, here's another miracle that you should try on your wife. Press down on her belly while your fingers are inside it up, her vagina to the bottom of the G-spot. Use your right hand, because I think the G-spot is on the female right to center, okay? Because I was at an angle. The fingers are at an angle. Press fingertips together and massage, and her pelvis will come off the bed to attack your face. Women that have been raped and can't come have experienced over 100 orgasms in 1 hour. I call it the violin because your fingers are violining. And it's miracle number 1. Miracle number 2 was stevia, splitting water into a natural gas that can power engines.
Daniel, come take your medication, please.
1 Depakote pill. Don't trip. It's all good. Peace.